Hello, this is Lela Meinke with Serenity Cards and Coaching, and super excited to be here with you today. This has been 12 weeks to a wow Christmas with Bethany and Lela, and we are on our last week in our countdown. And oh my gosh, have we had some great wow projects for you. My name is Lela Meinke. You can find me at lelameinke.com. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And I would just love to have you connect on my Facebook page and just come hang out and be part of the community. So what we are going to make today, we are going to make this gift card holder. So this is using our Slimline envelope, and it's a really beautiful gift card holder. And you can see it very nicely fits a gift card right inside. And then it's got a nice little pocket card for you to make a note or write a little sentiment or just say a little something. And so these two were made with our Splendid Day Designer Series paper, which is on sale right now. And you can still get it while it's still available. This guy I made with our snowflake vellum paper. Some of these things aren't available anymore. They were in our holiday catalog, but that was just another variation where you can, instead of a flower, you could do a snowflake. You could just dress this up all different kinds of ways. And our Slimline envelopes come in 3 different colors. They come in soft succulent, they come in like a gray granite, and then a basic white. So you can dress it up, dress it down, do whatever you'd like with it. And so this is our Slimline envelope, and they're for making Slimline cards, but we're gonna mix it up a little bit today and make a gift card holder. So the very first step that you're gonna take is you are gonna score this at the 6 1/8 inch line. And so when you are an email subscriber, you will get a PDF from me that has all of these steps spelled out very, very specifically. But I'll try to give you, like if you go through and you want to do like a screenshot along the way, I'll try to give you clear measurements as we go as well. So this is our Slimline envelope. We're scoring. I love to use our scoreboard, and our scoreboard, all those little marks are 1/8 of an inch. I think especially for like a thicker paper like this, you're just going to get a deeper score. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to score on the, with the flap on the right. I'm going to score on the 6 1/8 inch line that way, and then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to score on the 6 1/8 inch line that way as well. Now, if you don't have our scoreboard, you could absolutely do this on our trimmer. Absolutely. Main thing you want to do is you just want to get it scored, and then you want to come in with your bone folder and just give it a good burnish and make sure it's kind of lined up that way. So perfect. So that really was the hard part. From here, it's really just a matter of die cutting, and gluing all the elements. So we'll start with putting the back liner on the back. The back liner is 5 7/8 by 3 3/4, and it just gives like a nice pretty lining, right? So we're gonna go ahead and use our Splendid Day paper to put the liner on the back. And I'm gonna show you a little tip. We did the same thing when we put the vellum on the back. Look at this vellum. If you've ever worked with vellum, have you ever seen it adhered so perfectly? Typically you see like little glue marks or little marks wherever the glue might be. And when you're working with either a vellum like this or a thin specialty paper where maybe some of the glue, you know, the glue line might show a little bit, or the tape might not hold it as securely, unless you really put a nice amount on, or you use like our Super Secure Seal Plus. This is just a great way to hide glue lines, and really we're gonna make a sticker, a very, very robust sticker out of this sheet of paper. So, so this is just these are our adhesive sheets, and I cut it to 6 by 6, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on right here. I'm gonna come back in and put like the front flap back on and give it a nice burnish. So I'm basically just getting a nice smooth adhesive on the back. Now you could absolutely use our Tombow glue. That's what I did. And that's what I did right there. And it's perfectly fine. If you look really, really close, you might see like a little bit of glue marks. And so where you've got a large surface like that and you don't want to see any adhesive, you could just use these adhesive sheets. They're kind of amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and use my tweezers from our Embossing Additions toolkit. And I'm going to go ahead. Now this still has adhesive on it, so you don't want to like tear that whole thing off and have it exposed, because if you're anything like me, you're going to get your elbow in it and it's just going to be all over everywhere. So I'm going to take off this sticker quite nicely with these tweezers, and then I'm going to leave the I'm just going to leave the protective cover on it. So there we go. I'm going to put that far, far away, and I'm going to come back in and I'm going to adhere this. So, so now, and these tweezers are, I don't know if that's silicone or what it is, but it doesn't stick. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up. Here's the deal about this adhesive. Once you use it, once you put it down, it's down. So you really want to make sure you've got everything lined up. So I went ahead and got it lined up at the bottom, and I'm going to come in and come through with a nice burnish, and then that's it. Now our back is very nicely lined. And you know what? If by some reason you get a little bit of this adhesive coming off to the side, you can use a glue eraser, and this glue is already dry. You don't have to wait for it to dry, and you can just get any little pieces off just like that. But that's it, you guys, nice and lined. So we'll use glue for the rest of what we're going to do, because it goes a little bit faster and things are going to be a little bit more hidden. So the very second thing I want to do is I want to line the inside here, and this is soft succulent, and I'm using a soft succulent cardstock cut to 5 7/8 by 3 5/8. And again, this is all very nicely in the PDF. So if you subscribe to my email, which really, if you just go to my website at lelamonkey.com, it will pop up with an invitation to ask you to subscribe. So go ahead and subscribe. And then I'm sending out the 12 weeks series. I've been a little intermittent this time, but I'm sending out the 12-week series, and you get the whole playlist all at once, including the PDFs. And I'm really, really known for my PDFs. Now I'm going to keep adhering. So the next layer in is going to be 5 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to use my glue. I'm just going to use the littlest bit. I want it to stay, but I really don't want those glue lines to show. And sometimes with the specialty paper, it is going to show. And so I'm going to go ahead and line that up right there. If you cut yours all the way to the full 5 3/4, it's going to go all the way down to the bottom. But I was running a little bit low, so I didn't cut it all the way. And honestly, it's going to be covered anyway. So even if you wanted to be a little more mindful of resources, you could certainly come in and cut that a little bit shorter, not the full 5 3/4, but it is 3 1/2 inch wide. So now I'm going to make my pocket, and I'm going to use my tear and tape to make my pocket. And I love to use tear and tape. Matter of fact, I just had someone here the other day making this card, and they didn't have tear and tape, so they used glue. And what happens with glue is it spreads. So even if you put like a nice line right there, it's going to spread. It's going to make its way. And so then when she went to put the tag in, it didn't fit nicely. So that's okay. We just adjusted the tag size, and that worked out fine. So you can absolutely use glue. But tear and tape, what's nice about tear and tape is it's only the width that it is. It's not going to spread. What you see is what you get. So when we go to use the tag, we know it's going to fit exactly kind of in that runner right there. So let's go ahead and pop this up, and then we're going to have our cute little pocket. So truly the rest of it from here is really just kind of a gluing and a stamping exercise. So we're going to go ahead and make our pocket, and you want to make sure because once you've got a fold, sometimes it wants to go a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So you want to make sure that you've got it lined up exactly on both edges. And then from here on out, so we'll wait to do the tab. Now we're gonna do the bottom, and I've got all these stickers here to be a help, but they're kind of also a little bit in the way. So now we're gonna line the bottom right here with a piece of cardstock 2 1/8 by 3 5/8, and then we're gonna come in with a piece of designer paper 2 by 3 1/2. Now I chose to do the cardstock and the DSP. Here I had a black, and then the gray, and then the silver. So the black pops a lot more. So if you wanted to on one of them, no, I lined them on all of them. No, I didn't. So here, if you wanted to, you could use the larger size and do the designer series paper, the larger size, and not do a layer of cardstock underneath. But in any event, I just chose to do cardstock, and I chose to do the same color. So I've got a layer at 2 1/8 by 3 5/8, and then I've got a layer of designer series paper 2 by 3 1/2, and it's going to fit very, very nicely so that the flap, like you're not going over the flap. So I measured it exactly so that it'll just come just right under the flap, but it'll retain the pretty, the kind of the border and the shape of the flap. And there's no dimensionals yet. We're just using either your Seal Plus or your Tombow glue, no dimensionals. So we're gonna just put that guy right there. And I just thought that, I don't know, I thought these colors matched. I thought these patterns matched. I just thought it was a really nice, elegant kind of gift. So when they open it, that's what they're gonna see. And then they can pull the gift card out. So now we'll get to the next layer, and we're gonna do a layer of cardstock and a layer of designer series paper here. So this cardstock is 3 3/4 by 3/4, and this designer series paper is 3 5/8 by 5/8. So same thing, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue, and with a thin strip like this, I absolutely wanna make sure that I'm going to the edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that lined up. Now this flap is a little bit longer, so this width is a little bit wider than the one just below it. So we'll go ahead and get that glued. And again, the way that it works is we're going to be able to retain the shape of the nice flap right there. And then we're gonna cover it with a sentiment tag anyway. All right, you guys, so now this is all nice and lined up and nice and lined and nice and pretty everywhere. And now we can get to decorating the rest of it. So I am going to put the sentiment next and get that there. So I love this lasting label punch. It's a fantastic punch. It's called Lasting Label, and it's great. It's $19, and I am getting so much use out of it. I'm also using a Merry Christmas stamp from the Celebrate with Tags die set, stamp set. This stamp set's carrying over. So it's got, and these stamp really, they're rubber and they stamp so crisply. So we've got Merry Christmas, we've got Happy Birthday, Let's Celebrate You. Love, 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 love this stamp set. So I'm just gonna put a nice Merry Christmas, and I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and lined. This time I'm doing fresh freesia. Last time I did black, and you know what? I got a little marquee on it. So sometimes I'll come in and cut my rubber. I didn't do that this time, so that's okay. I'm just gonna keep going. So now I'm gonna put this strip on the back. And the strip size, I was again running a little bit low on designer series paper. So the size that was in the, pause, Lela. I just did the wrong side. Okay. This was intended to be a little bit longer. So the size that's in the PDF is the size that you want to use. But I'm going to fake it. So I'm going to go just a little bit shorter, and I just want it to kind of go a little bit out there. And then I want it to go a little bit out there. Now I got to be careful because I have glue underneath too, so I need to make sure I pick it up and it doesn't tear. So there we go. Lovely. All right, nice. All right, and I knew it, darn it, because I have the glue underneath. So what we're doing is we're just very nicely lining the back with a nice little strip back there. And so that's nice. You want to make sure it doesn't go too far beyond. Now here's a tip about adding the tag. I made a mistake one time where I added the tag and I put it here. And then when I tried to open it, I couldn't open it. So you want to bring the tag so that the top is flush with the fold right there. And I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put them right on the surface right here because I've got that funny little strip activity going on in the back. So I'm going to put them right here. And I'm going to put it right here. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then these are still a little bit damp. So the magic of glue, I can fidget with them a little bit to get them where I want them. You know, the other thing you could do if you didn't attach it to the tag, you could attach it just right to the flap itself. And so here's a couple other, this one didn't even have any paper on it at all. Here's one where I attached it straight to the flap and that was nice. And then I put the tag over it. And then here's one, I used a completely different tag that was much narrower anyway, so it didn't go over, and I just had it come out just a little bit from behind. So just play with it and come up with the version that you like of it, but we're going to go with this for right now, and perfect. The final thing we want to do before we finish here is we want to make a little tab so that people know that they're invited to open this. So my husband Bob is a great person for me to kind of do tests with. So I will, I'll give him a card and I'll see, like, what does he do with it? Because he opens it and he plays around with it and he's like, wait, because I do a lot of fun folds. So I like to see him, like, he's a great example of not knowing what these fun folds are. And so I get to see kind of what the recipient's going to do with it too. And so where I can, where it's a fun fold, I try to make it really instinctive for them to know how to open it. So what I'm doing is I took a little piece of the organdy ribbon, I put a mini glue dot on the inside, I'm folding it over, and I'm making that a little tab. Like, that's it. And then I'm going to put another little piece of mini glue dot, and I'm going to attach it just right up under the tag right here. And you guys, that's it. So now we've got like a little tab that they know they can open it and they know they can find the gift card inside. So that's it for that base. Now let's make the tag itself. And so for the tag itself, I'll show you the different sizes. We've got basic white at 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. We've got a couple soft succulent circles that are 2 7/8. And we've got a circle, a basic white circle that's 2 5/8. So let's get to the assembling of all of this. These were made with our layering die cuts. This, of course, was just cut nicely on the trimmer. And the very first thing I'm going to do is just get my soft succulent layer on the front. I'm just going to do that right there. And I want it low enough so that you don't see like the white corners coming out. So I want the corners like really hidden behind the back. So now let's look. All right, that looks good. Perfect. Now I'm going to put the basic white layer on it, and then we're going to decorate it with the flower. These are from the poppy set that we've had out for a while now, and I love to take these flowers and do like a vellum background with the one, and then kind of just a pop of a layer with the with a Stampin' Dimensional with like a designer series paper, and just make a really pretty flower out of that. So that's what we're gonna do. Now here, I don't care if anybody sees that the vellum is attached, because we're gonna cover it up so many ways. So I'm just gonna put a little dot in the middle, and then I'm gonna kind of burnish it so that it spreads. I'm gonna make sure that that flower stays centered, and it is. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to use a couple Stampin' Dimensionals with this flower here to pop it up. And so, gosh, how would you mail this? You know, I am thinking like it would go, it certainly wouldn't go just in a business envelope, right? So you would probably want to put it maybe in a little box, or maybe hand it to the person. All right, there we go. So now we've got the flower attached, and we're gonna put a bow in the middle. We're gonna do two things. We're gonna make another little tab right now so that the person knows to pull the tab out. So how we did that, we cut our little piece of ribbon, and then we've got our glue dots. So this one's gonna take some more glue dots. We're going to put a glue dot in the middle, and we're going to make our little tab. And then we want a glue dot on the front, and we want a glue dot on the back, because we're going to make a little like circle sandwich. So let's put a little glue dot on the front, and we're going to put it right there. And then we're going to put another one on the back, and then we're going to glue the circle on the back anyway. But the reason I'm putting another one on the back is so that it really, really adheres. So I've got my second glue dot on the back, and now I'm going to put some glue on this circle, and I'm going to adhere it. So I've got a nice lined back. Do some house cleaning. I've got my adhesives everywhere. So now we're going to take the second soft succulent circle, and we're going to put it on the back like that. So we've got a nice lining on the back. So now when you look at it, it's a tab. It's going to go in and out. I'm going to burnish that a little bit just so that it's like, I'm not going to squish and smash the flower, but I do want to make sure that the glue spreads and that the circle is really adhered. So now you guys, this guy just goes in and out. So sweet, right? So sweet. And the final step we're going to do is we're going to put a nice little bow on the front. And so love this bow maker. You know, I've got this event called Stamp with Lela. It's every Monday night. We stamp over Zoom. And we're from all over the country, actually, from here all the way to Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Boise, Idaho. Like, we've got people from everywhere, and we just get on every Monday night and we Zoom together. And the other night, people have been buying this bow maker that I recommended, and if you have questions about it, let me know. I can get you that information. But one person was asking, like, how do I use it? So we sat, and I just kind of popped open my hands view, and we just sat and like went through the making of the bow together. And so I love to help people learn, and I really love to connect with people. So if you want to know about Stamp with Lela, let me know, and you're more than welcome to come to that. So the final step we're going to do, we're going to take a couple of mini glue dots here. This is another kind of signature thing of mine, I think, is I love to put bows in the middle of a flower. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this final bow, and you guys, that's it. There's our Merry Christmas gift card. And so sweet. You could stamp the inside. You could write a little note. You could put a gift card in there. You could put a little affirmation in there. Super sweet. So you could put it in a, like in a little cellophane bag. I was thinking too, we have these bags available, and then you could kind of maybe like seal it up right there and put a little, I don't know, put a little tag on the outside or something too. Would make a nice little gift. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to my email at lelameinke.com, and I will get you a PDF that has every single step, every single ingredient. And I'd love to connect with you. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.